Hello and welcome to episode 12 of There Be Dragons. My name is Matthew, I am your Dungeon Master. Let's go around the table, introduce the people and the characters that they play.
As always, I'm Josh, who is always playing Skairn Fellspar.
Just for today, I'm Tristan Doust, and I play Charlie Roughhouse.
I'm Keren, Schlink, and I'm your friendly neighbourhood dragonborn, Rhylind, Westfall.
I'm Angela, and I'm playing Abella.
And I'm Tom, I'm playing Nezor and recording this whole ordeal.
What you trying to say,
Audio is the
Tom?
correct word.
That you're insufferable.
I really enjoyed the mental image of Rhylind in a Spider-Man costume.
A ream is burning. Great plumes of smoke rise from the Bashano side of the city. And as the crow flies, you can see the ever-expanding pontoon being constructed by the Erhardt Royal Engineers in the bay. The dock side is a flurry of activity as cohorts of Erhardt soldiers gather for the inevitable invasion. Near where our heroes lie, drum beats echo from deep within the sewers they've just escaped from. The party lies in wait to see if their gamble has paid off to prevent the invasion and further loss of life. Even further from here, standing alone in an alleyway, holding the body of his manager and friend, Charlie Roughhouse mourns the death of Gorgeous George. Now, when we left you, we had you basically belly down on the back of a sunken ship, as I recall, and you were observing what you could of the pontoon bridge that you'd sent the middlemen, the armatures, to disrupt. And it's a while. It would be difficult for you guys to tell anyway, because again, there are ships blocking your view, but even with the din of distant combat, you can still hear troop movements from the opposite side of the bay, heavy enough to carry across the water, which is surprisingly calm, given that there's a war going on. And it's through this distant din that something pierces through the combat. It's the sounds of dying horses. And it drags your attention up to the Aremian Bridge, where you see 3 horse teams on fire, dragging carts of barrels that are billowing just smoke. And it's a horrific sight. But what's even more horrific is that once the carts get about a quarter of the way across the divide, they detonate. The bridge itself cracks, and ancient masonry starts to tumble. The Bashano, in a last-ditch effort, have actually destroyed the bridge to deny the Erhardt entry.
This feels symbolic.
Ah, people are dicks. No respect for ancient architecture.
We're not underneath this, right?
No, this would be probably about a half a mile away. But still, you can see the bridge. You can see movement of troops from either side fighting back and forth, and then you just see this horrific display of 3 horse teams just kind of. They look like they possibly set the pitch alight on the horse and on the carriage and just pointed it in the direction of the bridge, and then detonated the thing. Why they set the horse alight?
Made the horses run.
Yeah, basically. And
in fairness, they're just trying to do what we're trying to do.
It's about half an hour later when it's a little bit hard to tell because again, you're not really able to see much, but pieces of wood are starting to float away from the central area that these ships were sort of keeping safe. So you can safely assume that the metal men are doing their business. And it seems to be they're dismantling this pontoon. What do you guys do?
I have nothing to do except watch, really.
Yeah, that seems to be working.
Cool.
Is there anywhere we can move to get a better view?
Or are we likely to be able... I'm sort of still my concern is about getting the metal men back. So I feel you didn't tell them to come back.
No.
Is it likely that they will, do we think?
Probably not, but As long as they do their job, like at the end of the day, it'd be nice to have them back, but if this stops the fight, then...
That'd do it. But also, we did tell them not to get seen, so they may well just stay under the water.
Yeah.
At which point we can go and get them later. In which case, is there any point staying? I mean, if this is working...
That's what I'm thinking, if we know it's done.
And go where?
Help fight fire? There's no other way that this fight can happen now that the bridge is gone. They can't come over. So there's not going to be a forced landing. This appears to have... I hate to say... I don't want to say comprehensively that it's worked, but it might as well. It looks like it might have worked. So perhaps we should go up and lend our efforts in Charlie's direction.
Sounds good.
We're not doing any good here.
It looks like it was a quick death. That's probably the best you could say about it. Fire elves come in, seen the dead soldiers, seen this halfling that's been killed, and seen you and the dog, and they start to spread out and have started to search for any other signs of people that have been around. And it's about 2 minutes later when one of the fire elves comes back to you and gives you a small satchel which has your tea set in it, but the tea set's cracked now.
Yep. Charlie will basically bundle everything up, put the bag on his shoulder, pick up George in one arm, and sort of gesture to Duchess, and he just walks through the street until he can, he finds spirits of some variety, opens it and drinks and just keeps walking.
Look, there are small, stations nearby that have got barrels of water for the fire elves, people who are actually running into houses and stuff like that, basically rest stations almost. But some of them do have bottles that they've clearly just seen and grabbed that have got liquids in them.
Even if it's a window that has of an old bar, bar, as in he does the first thing of alcohol.
Sure.
Strong alcohol, and he just wanders off into the city.
Well, before you wander off, one thing that you do notice is that lane that they've set up where they're allowing troops to run back and forth. Suddenly, from outside the city, you see a column of Bashano soldiers marching in. They don't look like fresh-faced recruits by any means, and they're accompanied by small wagon teams with what look like cannons that are being pumped into the city. It seems like this is the first line of reinforcements that have come through. Your best guess is they've come from the nearest detachment. That was probably camped nearby from the troop build-up that they'd been putting into force along this line. The only other thing of note is that this column is led by an officer on horseback who's wearing quite ornate-looking combat dress. But they move past, and as they do, the mood lifts a little bit.
Yeah. In all honesty, Charlie's not really paying. He's looking at the bottom of the bottle, basically.
Sure.
Just sort of wanders. Okay. So once that bottle's empty, he'll find another one, and just walk through the street. He's sort of, walking towards Amalay's place, but not. Sure. Directly. He's basically almost instinctually floating that way. You're walking down through a collection of small shops. Some of them are damaged, some of them aren't. When you see a familiar face step out of one of these shops, and he's actually wiping his hands with a cloth. It's Dupree. And he doesn't actually seem to notice you at first, but he does that sort of thing where he finishes wiping his hands, throws the cloth to the ground, seems to be thinking for a second, then glances up and sees you there. He goes, "Oh, Charlie. I didn't expect to see you here." You're that noble guy, aren't you? Another massive swig from the bottle, which sort of empties the bottle and on the ground.
Quite. What happened? He says, looking at Gorgeous George.
Sort of holding the mask, You wouldn't have any booze on you by chance?
No, but... And he looks over to a nearby store. He goes, that building, man. Come with me, chap. And, he takes you aside and you walk off into this fine liqueur store. It seems like whatever you've got from the robots is working. What next?
So we're going to look for Charlie.
Okay.
Pretty happy with how that's going, so.
All right. Can everyone
share
roll?
a round of celebratory high fives?
Cool. Everyone roll me a investigate.
That is a nat 20.
I'm looking for Charlie.
11.
18.
Charlie's
Investigation.
Gone with
19.
the wind.
I'm going to say that, Nezor, you're walking down the same street that Charlie was down. And as you walk down the street, you notice that there's movement in this one shop on your left-hand side. And it's almost like one of those split-second glances, but you see the enormous frame of Charlie standing next to Dupree. So I think that you kind of look in and you just see DuPont tending bar to Charlie, and just there is a thing covered with a cloth on a table. Charlie's sitting basically at a small bar, which actually looks more like something you'd find in a shop than an actual like publican. And yeah, DuPont's basically pouring shots out of a very long, thin green bottle.
So yeah, I call the rest of them over. Hey guys, and look through the window, not wanting to interrupt just yet.
Oh, hey, it's
I look
Dupree.
over Nezor's shoulder and say, "Oh, well, that's not good."
Him and Charlie got chummy real quick.
I enter. I go through the window.
There is a door. They went.
No.
Okay.
I go through the window.
I'm going to go through the door like a human being.
Well, all right.
You're not
I'll
human.
go through.
You're an elf.
Well, like an elf then.
Doors are for people with no imagination.
Yeah. Doors are for boring people. Rush, and I go through the window.
Okay, Skairn.
You break
Okay.
the window and then you.
Oh, I thought the window was not broken. Oh, I thought it was like a cracked and broken window.
Yeah. Okay.
So I had in my head that it was
That's
sort
why I
of,
was like,
everything
why
was
you
a
could-
little bit ruined and broken.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'll go through the door then, I suppose.
No. Hello.
Just
I'm
smashes
Brian
the window,
Blessed.
leaps through, lands. Hello, Charlie. I see you're getting drunk.
I've come here to make you feel better.
You can take
I heard there was rum involved.
No.
take the boy away from pirates, but you can't take the pirate out of the boy.
Would have known as well from the time you spent with Charlie, he's never once
doesn't drink.
drunk alcohol at all ever. Like,
Sure. I go in and say, is that absinthe?
No, it's Remium rum. Would you like some?
Yeah, now you're speaking my language.
Are we on shots level friendship suddenly? I mean, I'm not objecting, but like,
Are we celebrating something?
Charlie sort of slumps at that. Like, just
I go over to the thing underneath the blanket, and just sort of lift one edge.
while he's doing that, I'm like,
when
yeah,
you sort
Charlie.
of do that, like Charlie would be like, please leave him be,
Who is it?
George. And then
I clap Charlie on the shoulder and say, yeah, definitely another shot for me, please.
While that exchange is happening, like I think Dupree's just gone straight to the cabinet and pulled out some more little glasses. They're all like little collector's things that have obviously like they'd actually probably be quite expensive. They're clearly like artisanal. He puts them down on the table and starts pouring everyone some of this liquor, and it's actually really clear, white rum.
Oh, the bottle was just green.
Yeah, the bottle was green. It wasn't green like liquid green,
I
but
was like,
no, it's just a thin green bottle. But yeah. And it actually burns like a mother. Like it's a really, really strong liquor, but goes down a tree. Everyone give me Constitution saves. Except you, Charlie, you're gone.
oh yeah, no, I'm not resisting anything.
Natty 20, baby.
All right, you're good.
If anybody was going to be able to resist rum.
Well, I was going to say, I was actually
Should I
thinking.
get this advantage for
Yeah,
that?
I was thinking, like, yeah.
Didn't need it.
I got 20, not natural.
No, that's fine. As long as everyone got above 10, you'll be fine.
Yeah, 14.
I got 12.
Okay. Yeah, it's for the
Rhylind breathes fire a little bit.
I like to think I blew out a little bit of steam.
it is quite strong. Possibly why it's artisanal. The The only thing I will say is that as you all sort of sit down and have this drink, you can still hear the occasional bombard landing nearby, but it seems to have quietened down quite a lot since the bridge was destroyed. And in drips and drabs, you start seeing like Aremian soldiers, and they look a lot cleaner than the ones you've sort of seen up to this point, start running down past the window.
So I look to, while he's pouring the drinks and we've been doing the shots and so forth, well, after the shot, I sort of, haven't had that in a while.
Can we see the mask? Has Charlie still got it out?
Yeah, it's sitting. So, like, basically, the army was holding George, and all his pants are covered in blood still. And the mask is. So while you're sort of talking and whatnot, the mask is sitting in front of, like, he's basically staring into the eye holes of the mask, just taking shots as they come.
Right. They blew the bridge. Like the actual bridge. The Bashano blew it. Smart move on their part. Pretty messy with the horses and so forth. Looks like the plan with the metal man appears to be working. The harbor is full of bits of wood.
And horses?
Well, and a little bit of horses, yeah. So we thought we'd come back and help you. Apparently a little late. Sorry about that.
Nothing could have been done. It's fine.
I assume our masked friends were involved?
Yes.
Dupree gets everyone's glasses and lines up another round of shots. Anyone who wants a drink has to do a con save.
11.
You're good. This one, yeah, it's surprising how much it hits you. It's actually quite strong.
19.
22.
I think I'm okay for this one.
Dupree shrugs, takes your shot, and drinks it.
And I blow out a bit more steam. And I just so you guys
The mirror
know,
behind him starting to fog up.
just so everyone knows I'm a bit twitchy.
Dupree, what were you up to in the last few hours?
Yeah, you disappeared.
Regrettable. I was chasing a lead.
And you didn't think to say, bye chaps, hope everything goes well.
Well, to be honest, no, you seem to have it in hand, and to be quite frank, I, generally speaking, work better alone. But I'm starting to understand that perhaps that's not possible moving forward.
I get out my pipe and light it up, and I puff irritatedly.
Dupree actually pulls a little cigarillo case and gets one out and starts to smoke himself. He goes,
Is there any, where are we? Can you describe is it a
yeah,
shop?
sorry. It's like a little shop front. The way I would describe it is it's like one of those little curio stores where you've got like a sort of a fogged up, but it's more of a grimy kind of window where maybe the middle has been polished, but the outside's sort of frosting. Little metal security grate over it. Inside, it's probably about the same size as this room. So what, like maybe
5 by 4?
5 by
It's
4.
like an artisan liquor store.
Yeah.
That's what I'm imagining.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's not much. There's basically a bar that runs about 3/4 of the length of the room, which Dupree's behind, and there's like a small cabinet behind that built into the wall that has a lot of the wares. The window looks like it's actually been broken. That was in front, like it had like a cabinet door.
Oh, right.
Right, the cabinet door has been broken. There's a small table to the side where they probably had like tastings or something, which is where George has been placed. There is a door that leads to the back, but other than that, there's sort of like as much here in terms of liquor as there is in like terms of like ornate goblets and things like that.
I might just check out the back.
Yeah, I
Sure.
was about to say, I'm going to find a toilet and check out the back.
Yeah, he's going to go looking for a water closet. I'm going to go looking for some food for a tidbit.
I mostly just want to open the door and see if there's anything back there.
Yeah, look, to be honest, it's a small storeroom. There's a few really small kegs that have probably got taps. Stinks of like stale beer. And the ground is sort of, it looks like it probably had like some kind of carpeting, but they've reefed it up. It's got that sort of shitty stained stone. And then there's an iron door on the back. On the opposite side from the entrance, and there's just small bits and pieces here. There's a chamber pot in the corner.
No stairs or anything?
No, it's not a second story. Well, if there is, it's probably accessible from the rear. There is a small crossbarred window on the door, and it looks like there's a small garden out the back, and then kind of goes onto an alleyway. It's not really easy to see because it actually is quite a small window. It's probably like a security grate of some kind for when it's receiving goods.
Is there any sort of meat or like any food wares at all? There doesn't have to be. I'm just
No,
wondering.
I don't think there would be.
Okay. I grab one of the kegs
Sure.
and take it back.
Okay.
And on the way through, I find if there is a pair of goblets,
Yeah, there's tons of drinking stuff. Like, I mean, you could literally describe to me what
like
you
a
find.
tankard, looking for a pair of tankards.
These are swanky. This is a swanky little store.
I'm
so
sure. Just like, are they easily accessible, or do I have to break glass to get them?
You probably have to break some glass, but I'm not going to make you roll. It's
It doesn't
glass.
matter. Just sort of smash some glass and get out. Probably 4. No, 5. I don't think you do beer.
Yeah, she'll do a beer.
Okay, 5. I get 6
It's not a shot of...
tankards and sort of do an ale for everybody. I said probably best he swaps to the lighter stuff at this point, I think.
The smell hits you from this stuff. This is an imperial.
Good.
Yeah, the dark imperial. So it's pungent.
Oof.
It smells dwarven. Like it's probably some kind of Karakian dark ale. So
I indicate to DuPont another shot for Krosh.
yeah, no, he obliges and then puts
Krosh runs down Skairn's arm and takes a sniff of the rum, and then sort of, I don't know how a dragon would drink.
He'd stick his nose in it and it.
And he probably gets about a third of the shot down and then belches out a little flame.
Yeah, I like it. That's cool. What's his constitution?
It's +1.
All right, no, he's
You can
fine.
roll for it if you like.
I already did.
He's
He rolled
not
a
great.
10.
Oh, there you go. Good.
He rolled a 10. Yeah. What is everyone else doing while this sort of somber
Well, I think we should make a
Wake
toast
is
to
happening.
Charlie. George.
To George.
Yeah.
When he sees you walk out with one of the little casks, Charlie would actually get up and go pinch one out the back and punch a hole in the top and sit down and just start drinking out of like wood bits and all. I just
Right, so 5 goblets then.
Yeah, that's fine. No,
You can give him a glass.
No.
We'll have one.
If that's what you've done, then I would not be like.
I guess I'll take my tankard and be like, to George.
George.
To George.
I'm not dead yet.
No, I'm sorry. That does not happen.
I throw something at him, and I hold my tankard to Charlie, waiting for him to.
To George. And sort of wipes back a tear but he then empties the wooden cask and crushes it against the.
I want him to break it against his forehead.
It's not that kind of drinking.
I want him to try, but he's
Like a
just too
pewter
far
tankard.
gone. So he like just tries and he's just sitting there holding it for a little while, and just like sadly.
And it just sort of crushes it
Starts
against.
expending key points.
Yeah, no, he shatters it against the bar.
Does George have a home we should be taking him to when we can?
Yeah, we did that with someone already. We can do it again, I guess.
Yeah, we lugged a corpse somewhere before.
He was.
Our friends.
He didn't have a family. He was from the streets. He worked his way to where he was.
It's somehow worse.
It's cleaner.
I have him buried in the family estate.
I'll arrange for some transport after this nasty business is dealt with. Okay, so while this is all happening, those troop movements I mentioned that are passing and are quite muted actually in this little corner of the world you found yourselves in, they're now starting to wheel past like those carriages that you saw with those cannons on them, and they're heading towards the bay. And at the same time, after you've had a moment to reflect about George, you hear a war horn. It sounds like it echoes from the redoubt.
Should we check that out? I feel like someone's about to do something aggressive or stupid or both.
To really care. This whole city can just burn for all I care.
Well, we'd like to get out of it safely.
Oh yeah, first. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
I'm going to go to the door and stick my head out.
Yeah. I haven't gone to the amount of effort that we have gone to not at this point give a shit.
Did you say there may be a second floor out the back?
Yeah, like, I mean, there might be a set of stairs that are outside the view, but it is a 2-story place.
Yeah, I reckon we head to the roof, see if we can see anything.
Well, I've just gone to the front door. Do you want to see what I can see?
What did you see?
The trebuchet is slowly rotating.
Oh,
shit.
Oh dear, guys! That you know that big trebuchet that's up on the top of the hill? That one, it's moving.
Oh, great. So the Bashno are good. I feel like my side of what I wanted to do is done. They're covered. They're going to be fine. Shall we leave?
We were meant to stop it, not give the other side the advantage.
And I wanted to, but we can't.
The
So
other side the advantage. You can't wage a war with a single catapult.
You can with that catapult.
I mean,
You've seen that catapult, right?
No. As in, you can't. They can't invade the other side. There's thousands of troops. It'll be a draw.
They can fuck them up a bit, though.
They can a bit.
While you're saying all this, the catapult has finished rotating and is now locked into place, and it is aiming towards the bay.
So what are you suggesting? That we destroy the catapult to evens the sides again?
Or leave. Just
Find
saying.
Emily and see if they're going to negotiate. Or get out of the way of any potential firing zones.
I'm more feeling like the amount of Bashno and reinforcements that we have come in through. I don't know if you've been watching the window, but I've been keeping one eye on it. I think we've got a balance point. I don't think this catapult is going to change things. We always knew that they were going to get it back into action. This is not news to us.
After you said that, the horn plays again, but this time it's 3 sharp bursts. The catapult starts to rotate again, but away from the bay, rotating back towards the seaside.
Oh, good. They're pointing it the other way now.
They're threatening with it. They're saying, we can aim it, we can use it, but we're not going to.
Okay,
good.
that's better.
I feel like at this point, we've made ourselves fairly visible to the hierarchies of both sides of this. Charlie, I think we need to find some place to sort of sleep this one off. Someplace potentially not here. This, I feel, it's not going to resolve, not in a bloodless way. But I feel we may have managed to balance this scale. I'm curious about the metal men, but they are very cumbersome.
Yes.
Are you still watching?
Yes.
The trebuchet is locked into position, and now it's actually lowering to be loaded.
They're loading the trebuchet.
It's pointing out at sea.
Yeah.
Then they're firing at an invasion fleet.
Oh.
Or
They're
they have to face it to sea to put the rock that's on the land into it to then turn it back around.
That'd be a really
Or they're
shitty
firing
situation.
it so they can fire it.
It's right on the coast.
Or it's a warning shot.
Yeah, but you'd have an area around it.
Look, if they're going to start firing big rocks around, I kind of want to move.
We're on the Bashno side, right?
I know, but then they'll go start shooting back again.
That's a good point.
Look, being undercover, good. I cannot argue with that one. I'm just thinking a place to lie low for a little while. But I don't.
Lie low and keep our ear to the ground.
Yeah.
If something's happening and we have contacts on both sides, probably a good idea to have a good idea of
I'm
what's
not
going
up
on.
for bailing just yet.
While these guys are talking, what barrels were out the back?
There
Was it just little ones?
Yeah, just little ones on like a little shelf.
Okay.
And I mean, there are other
enough for
things.
us
There
to
are like
get.
crates of like just things
Is
like
it big, like big
no,
ones?
there's nothing like nothing in this
It's all
store.
small batch.
It's all small batch stuff. Yeah.
It's enough to get proper maggot anyway.
Is there like, so while they're talking about stuff, Charlie would just walked off. Is there like, okay, these are ales, these are spirits, these are like brandies and rums,
Yeah.
and so he'll find a nice old brandy, and punch a hole in the top and drink and start working through the brandy shelf.
Sure. I'm going to get you to do an actual Constitution check, and because otherwise I think you're probably drinking like near to critical capacity.
Pretty much the plan
That's the
is Charlie's going to drink until he passes out.
All right. Well, roll me a
So-
check and give me. I'm going to give you disadvantage on it.
7. So I got like a 9.
Do you want to die?
Yeah. No. You're like, oh, down I go.
Yep. Yeah, so he, as in unconscious or just legs not working?
Legs not working.
That's fine, because he can still grab the ones on the shelf that are down low.
I'd be impressed if I wasn't, concerned.
Are we aware?
You hear a thump.
Bella, a hand, please.
Oh. I walk over. Charlie. With my foot.
He's still drinking.
Yeah, I'm not unconscious. I'm now. My legs don't work.
Give him a poke with my foot.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I'm not going to take that one off him, but I'm going to make sure he can't reach any others.
Charlie, I give him another poke with my foot.
Yes, Abella.
I feel like you should stop.
I feel like you should.
Goodness, he has a sense of humor.
Wait, I want to see where this goes.
To be honest, that's pretty much all I had.
Charlie, is that what's happening right now?
I'm still looking
Say
at.
more funny shit. No, I'm going to find some sort of cloth that I could bundle up for a pillow.
Yeah, right.
And sort of help him maneuver himself down so he's lying down. I just say, just take have a bit of a rest, have a bit of a nap. I think you'll feel better in the morning.
I think that's a big fat lie.
As you're sort of trying to move him away from the shelf, you start bundling them into his arms as you sort of drag him.
While you're all doing that, the trebuchet fires. It launches a massive piece of masonry, it looks like, just out of sight, because again, obviously on top of a hill. But you can hear the whip crack of that thing from where you are. There's actually something of a gust of air. It's not huge, but it's enough. Like, there is force coming from this thing.
And they fired it. So there's either something out to sea that they don't like, or it's a warning shot.
Do you want to go and have a look?
Yeah, we might want to.
At least get out the lay of the land.
If there's a fleet of angry Erhart amassing, I'd like to know about it.
Well, let's go back to the river, see what the pontoon is looking like.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Or we could go up and try and spy from
did
above.
Nezor go and have a look?
No, I was happy to let.
All right. Well, then I'll get up from Charlie. So Charlie is now lying down, cradling large numbers of barrels.
You're about 7 in one arm, trying to poke holes in.
I'm not going to take them off you. Just one at a time, Charlie. One at a time. Take one, drink it, and then get then to the next.
Oh, genius!
I know.
2 at a time.
Right.
This is fine. It's fine. There's only so much more he can do. So I go out the back. Is it open?
No, but it wouldn't be hard to block.
Okay. I vessel for Rosh, who's been sort of nosing around on the bar with the empty barrels.
He chirps
And sort of he comes and flits over to my shoulder, and then we go upstairs. Is there an upstairs?
Well, you walk out into this little garden, and there is like a small staircase that's kind of built into the side that's past where the doorway is. So you basically turn a left and go straight up.
And is there any doors or anything?
Yeah, there's like a wooden house door on top.
Is it locked?
Yes, but
I ear to the door to see if I can hear anything.
There's nothing.
It's empty. Okay.
If they're being really quiet.
Then I force it.
All right, cool. Yeah, you kick it in, and it's a small. It's basically the owner's house. It's a small single bed. A number of little trinkets, like a writing desk. About that. That's about it. Small little kitchenette. There is still some bacon.
Wizard. I grab the bacon and. How many rashes?
It's like 2 rashes.
I give one to Rosh and nibble the other myself while I go to a window and see what I can see.
Okay, so from where you're positioned, basically you're looking towards the coast, but at an angle. So you could basically see what remains of the bridge. And you can see that the vantage point that you're at is not great because there are others still like 2 or 3 story buildings sort of around, but there's enough of a view that you can see that the line of ships in the bay have broken off. They look like they're heading out to sea. The pontoon is in shambles, and you can already see troops pulling out from the muster point.
I grunt, satisfied to myself.
And do me a perception check, and I'm going to say disadvantage because it is quite hard to see from here.
Not very good at all. Then.
Okay, no worries.
Like 7. No, 10, but still.
10? 10 will do it.
It was 18 or 10 irritating me.
Yeah, it's hard to see because of the way that it's angled, but you can actually see sails in the distance.
Oh, shit.
But one of the ship's sails are black.
Ah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Black Pearl.
Do I know anything about a ship with that would historically fly with black sails? That's not a very
I'm going to
common
say
thing.
that you're going to need to do a. I'm just going to say a flat wisdom. But I'm going to give you advantage because it's
Good.
probably something you would know. Just not necessarily.
7. That's much better.
So with your bonus, it's a 10. All right, that's enough. That is the flagship of the heir of Erhard.
It's the Black Prince.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
So it's more ships coming for the Erhard, not Sebastian.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh, good. I thought it was like another enemy coming to fight them both.
Would I have met him? Would I know this dude?
You would know of him. I don't think you'd ever met him. I don't think you would have been high enough. Like, your mother probably would have met him, but only at court.
Okay. Cool. Do
I'll,
you want to come downstairs and share this information with us?
I'll hop downstairs and say, so fun story. I know what they're firing at.
That doesn't sound like it's going to be a fun story.
It's sort of a fun story. If you're worried about the sides being overly balanced into Sebastiano.
No.
No. I reckon we've probably hit about a balance point. So they're firing at a new fleet
Oh.
that's coming in, and the lead ship has black sails.
Oh.
God bless the king!
Good.
So he gets funny and patriotic when drunk.
Yeah.
Black
that was
sails.
me speaking for him. I
Yeah.
can't speak.
No, I like
That's
it.
pretty much. It would be like. "Hey!"
Yeah.
From the celebration, I'm guessing this is a good
Probably.
thing.
Is he? What do I know his name?
Charles the Ninth.
Oh, Charlie 09 is on his way. Lovely.
Charlie 09.
You would know this. He's actually got quite the reputation as a bit of a, not a hothead, but he's very much his father's son in the sense that he's very interested in expanding territory, influence, all the rest of it. So,
I think it's pretty safe to say he's not here to diffuse the situation.
Yeah, but I also think it's pretty safe to say that without the bridge or the pontoon, he's not getting over here.
I'm not saying I'd do it, but knowing he's here, I kind of want to shank him. Like a little bit. I'm not going to do it.
Best of luck.
I'm
You're an
just
elf. You're not getting anywhere near him.
No, and I wouldn't, even if I was. But I'm just saying,
Didn't know
the
you were
urge
that
is
much
there.
of a patriot yourself.
Not even a lot. Just
You
sounds
just
like
don't
it'd be a
like
good thing
the
to
guy.
do.
Charlie, you're not unconscious, so I'm going to make you do a intelligence check, but at disadvantage, just to kind of. I guess what I'm doing is trying to let everyone kind of have their little moment to contribute some information to the
But
situation.
I was.
Yeah.
Soon as I was singing the Heart National Anthem.
Sure.
7.
7?
Plus 2, so 9.
No worries.
But he's singing the national anthem at the top of his
please.
voice. I don't know it. We'll do it later.
Anyway, since we're talking about fun facts about the capital ship of the Erhardt's heir, capital ships, which you can estimate these ships are, they have very nasty cannons.
They run to 70 cannons a ship.
Yeah.
And where in the area they're going to be shooting at?
Well, it depends on where they could shoot at the redoubt.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah. Oh, sure, but we're on the bad people side.
Yeah, well, you're not in the best situation.
We're not,
Easy,
we're not
easy.
in the safe zone. Let's put it that way.
No, we're in the knife-ear zone.
Racial epithets much?
Oh, knife ear. I thought you said knife ear, as in more knifey than the other side.
I was just like, yeah, this place is going to get a lot knifier.
I was going to say, I think they're both pretty knifey
How do you
at the
take
moment.
to racism, Abella? He just said knife ear. That's
Yeah, no,
pretty
but
bad.
she misheard him and therefore.
Yeah. No, this is Abella. I know, I think he said knife ear. And internally I'm like, I think they're both pretty knifey, to be honest. Like, our hearts are not
She's
knifey.
never really encountered that particular racial slur.
I think that's it. Like,
Rhyland's kind of looking between the two of them, just...
Skairn, on the other hand, who is also half knife ear, goes fucking and takes one of Charlie's barrels away from him, punches his own hand.
No, you try to.
Roll a strength check.
I'm just letting Charlotte, because I think at this point his body is numb enough that even if he didn't,
Natty 20, baby.
then he did, yeah. Great done.
Also, as you've moved, Charlie's kept himself so he can kick the shelf and make them fall off.
that's how you get bottles, like, falling on your head from
You
a
take
distance.
3 damage.
His head's not near it.
You still
otherwise-
get hit by it.
Sorry?
Take 3
damage.
Okay. I'm now 17 points down. I had 29.
So here's the thing. I was thinking before that we should go somewhere, lay low, pay attention, because we have contact with both of them. If that's the heir, we got nothing. Like, we don't know him.
They got nothing.
We should leave.
Well,
Shit,
I know him, but
Oh, of course you bloody know him.
Don't be so mean to Dupree.
All right, how well do you know him? What are your dealings with this?
well, I mean, I report to his father, and occasionally I brief him. Well, I used to brief him on matters of state when he was still learning his statecraft, and I wouldn't necessarily say he's a particularly apt. No, just apt. Really particularly apt student, but
Is he likely to stab you?
well, no, but
I just feel like I should check from this point on.
More than anybody else.
I feel like
I go to clink casks with Johnny.
Is he likely to negotiate, or is he likely to be looking for conquest?
well, to be honest, really don't know. I mean, I don't know enough about the situation. It seems that the paradigm has shifted. If the bridge has been removed, then there's no secure land route other than to go upstream and fjord it. But
There's a trebuchet.
yes, but that's the other matter. I actually believe that Alton's probably doing the smart thing, which is linking up with the main fleet, and they're going to probably bombard the shit out of the Bashno side, destroy all the main defenses.
If they can take out their trebuchet, they've got, 16 ships now full of men?
Trebuchet has range.
Trebuchet is range, sure, but 16 ships worth of firing on you.
The
And
trebuchet
then
is
invading.
also not exactly the most accurate. of
No.
weapons.
so. This place is going to get a whole lot more knifier. Thanks, Charlie.
You
take that. I'll take that.
You keep saying that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
It's two words. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So this place, going back to the point you raised before, Nezor, leaving. We should.
Get George back to burial ground?
One assumes that's on the other side.
Yeah, I think we can get there.
Yeah, crossing at another point, not that hard.
We can always put him in a box, but like the main thing is us
We
here
can
now.
steal a ship in the next city.
Why go to another city? There are plenty here.
Yes, they're all being shot at.
No, they're doing the shooting.
But like that's not a one-way road.
Give me, what's your passive perception, Rhylind?
9.
I imagine, to be honest, I imagine you're at the door, sort of like.
Oh yeah, I'm still trying to keep
cool.
an eye.
You can do an active perception if you'd like. Willing to let you do that.
I rolled a 3, which means I got a 2.
Cool, no worries.
You didn't notice shit.
I'm doing a very bad job of looking out, guys.
I don't think water is the way we're going to be getting out of here. Perhaps the next place we get to, sure.
So you're suggesting we leave through the gate?
We can leave with the rest of the refugees.
Okay, so it's at that point, Rhylind, you see a bloodied, disheveled barrack straight across the street from you in one of the shop fronts, and he's got his saber out and he's very carefully picking his way through the buildings.
Guys, what? I know that man.
What man?
I'm guessing that we're whispering because we don't want to be found by him.
Well, I could probably beat the shit out of him. That's not a problem. It's more.
Fine then.
Can I raise a possibly pertinent, relevant point?
If it's possibly pertinent and relevant.
You probably should go ahead. Yes.
He's Earhart, yes?
Yes.
We're on the Bashno side, yes?
Yes.
Then how did he get here?
Let's shank him.
Well, they were organising a cavalry charge over the bridge. One assumes they got across before they blew it, and one assumes it's not gone so well since he's on his own and Sans horse.
So
Like this guy?
Well, that depends. He potentially betrayed me, so we could potentially waylay him for information,
Okay.
What
or
information?
just beat the crap out of him for fun. I don't
Or
know.
I mean, we could just look in and then keep walking.
I mean, we could give him a drink. There's lots to drink.
Okay, Charlie.
I would go to Rhylind and say quietly, if you've got beef with this guy, I'm all up for helping you. But is that what you're wanting?
I don't know if I have beef.
Do you want to find out?
Yes.
Then let's do it.
So I walked over. So is it a sneak attack kind of plan? A charge-in kind of plan? What
Let's
are we
just put it
doing?
this way. I'm going to get up as close as possible, making as little noise as possible, and then if he turns out to have a bit more life in him than all that blood would suggest, you guys back me up.
How about distraction?
Oh, yes, Nezor, you distract him.
Goes out and distracts him, and then while he's not looking at the doorway because he's across the street and he would see you leaving because he's talking to Nezor, then you leave.
Okay, so just so you're aware, he is basically across from you almost directly. He does not seem to have noticed you. He's in this other building. It looks like he entered in from the back. There are occasional troop movements through this street.
Okay, so we're going to wait until it's quiet.
Yep.
No, I'm actually thinking wait for a troop movement, and while they're passing, pass through them.
Well, if you can.
Yeah, so that he doesn't... He's going to hide during a
He'll
troop
be
movement.
hiding. So as soon as the troops go past, then go.
Yeah.
While he's still focused on them.
The whole time this is happening, that trebuchet is reloading and firing.
That's cool.
I want to find this guy.
So
So can I just get some info on the building he's in? Like, is it similar to this glass shop
Yeah,
front,
it's a
or
little
is it-
glass shop front. Looks like it was probably an armorer.
So I'm going to wait for a troop movement and then try and stealth my way across into a position that he can't see me through the glass shop front.
Okay. Roll me some stealth checks.
That is a 10. So I'm going to continue to head to where I was heading.
Yep.
So I'm going to knock on the window and go, psst, is there anything good left in there?
There's no response.
Mate, I saw you in there. I need a new sword. Like, is there anything good? Like, I don't give a shit who you are.
No, there's no response.
Cool.
Unless you want to try and do something to elicit a response.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna I'm gonna draw a dagger. I'm gonna draw a dagger and just open the door. I go in and I'm assuming there is a counter. He's behind the counter.
Yep.
So I'm gonna hide on the other side of the counter.
Are you wanting to actually like stealth there, or?
Well, I've already let him know that I'm there.
Yeah, that's my point. Like,
I'm not trying to stealth there. I'm just gonna go and sit by the I'm gonna sit by the other side of the counter, like knock on it and see if there's a response.
okay, this time there is like you hear someone shuffling.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden there is a blade at your throat from around the other side. You hear, "Come behind the counter, my little friend."
Yeah, cool. I'm cool with this.
Gonna rape him?
why is that the first place your mind goes?
Come around the counter,
little friend. Yeah.
Halfling.
What about those legs? You don't need those.
Across the road, what can I see?
You see Nezor go into a shop face and then disappear. He just seems to have
Are
disappeared.
there any troops in the street right this moment?
Not right now, but you shuffle around to the back of the counter and you see a very frazzled-looking, bloodied cavalry commander who does not look like he's got a moment for you.
Yeah.
He looks like he's only entertaining you because you're clearly not a Bashano soldier or civilian.
Yep.
What do you want?
I want more weapons. Like, it's an armory. I want more weapons.
So you're a thief. Ah, give me one reason why I should gut you.
Because I have a family, trying to get them out of here. There's a lot of shit going down.
At that, he sort of just kind of like turns his head slightly and is like, "This is not exactly the safest place to be, little halfling. If I were you, I'd take your family and disappear quickly."
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yes, but you can do that elsewhere.
Okay. Can I just double check where we are in position to everything? So we still crouched down
You're
behind.
crouched down behind the counter. It's basically almost a mirror of the shop that you're in across
Yeah.
the road.
I stand up very slowly and attempt to look around the armory.
He grabs you on the shoulder and pushes you back down. He goes, "Are you trying to get me killed? Is that your plan here?"
Yep. Good. Are you going to let me peek around the corner, or are you just going to throw me out?
Did I just see Nezor stand up and then come down again? And I was like, just saw him. Let's go. I was going to exit and quietly run across the street.
Skairn draws a harpoon.
What is around me at the moment? How big is the counter? What is the counter made of? I'm being a dick for a good reason.
It's made of wood.
Strong wood.
Look, it's not something you're going to be able to move. It's basically bolted to the floor.
Yeah.
There are like ornamental swords, and like there's an armor dolly, like an armor stand with like a breastplate on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bit of a mess, this place. So
I'm going to be like, that's cool. I apologize. Didn't realize you're up to anything. Just wanted some weapons. I'll leave. Cool. So does he let me go?
yeah, he's not going to kill
Cool.
you.
So I sneak around to the other side of the counter.
Yeah.
Do I see the rest of them?
Well, I imagine at this point, like, you're basically charging across the street.
Yeah, I'm running across the street right now. Stealthily.
I leap up onto the counter and in doing so, pull the pan flute out of my pack and cast Thunder Wave.
Okay. Go ahead.
Each creature in a 15-foot cube, so not these guys yet, but because he's below me, it's a cube.
Nice.
It's going to hit him. And he wouldn't if I was on the other side.
Okay.
So he makes a Constitution saving throw, failed save, takes 2d8 thunder damage, and pushed 10 feet away. Successful save, half damage. And in addition, unsecured objects that are within the area of effects are automatically pushed 10 foot away.
Sure.
Darude Sandstorm on his pan flute.
My spell save DC will be, 15.
Okay, yeah, no, he well lost that. He rolled a 10, so...
Let's just roll that twice. That is a 5 and 8 damage.
Okay. He's unconscious.
That's all right. We can take him.
That's good. That's what we want.
So I burst into the shop and see an unconscious Barrack.
Well, no, you run towards the shop and then the glass in the shop window front explodes.
So I wait for the dust to settle and then burst into the shop.
And I'm like, I got him.
There's a little thing called overkill, Nezor, but otherwise well done.
He had a knife to my throat. I was a little bit threatened.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So I'm going to grab his unconscious body.
Yeah. Okay.
Drag it back across the street.
And I'm going to quickly check that no one's coming to investigate this explosion on the street.
There's been quite a few explosions on the street. I think this one's going to be fine.
You're good.
Okay, and I'm just going to be like, guys, could you help me get him back across, please?
Do you want to tie him up first?
All right, someone do his ankles.
Okay, so you now have a bound, unconscious Barrack.
Have we gagged him?
No, I'm going to try and revive him.
I would like to specify that we gag him, at least initially.
Behind Skairn, you may gag him. If that's your thing.
Gets him hard. Just let him do
You have
what
no
he
idea.
needs.
So I find a small spherical object about the
glass?
size of... Yeah, a shot glass would do it. It's not spherical, but like just, I don't know, like a ball, basically.
Red rubber ball with a...
Yeah, that'd do it. It doesn't have to be leather, but
Just gotta find a lemon.
a lemon, that'd do it.
No, I'd say there would be stuff here.
Like a
fruits.
citrus fruit of some
Yeah.
variety.
Yeah, just an ornament that's small and circular. I'm not
There's one
fussy.
in a small barrel.
Okay, so I'll get one of those and I'll shove it in his mouth and then I bind his mouth. It's the most effective way of stopping someone screaming. This is not an SMN thing. This is...
Oh, no, it
Oh,
does.
I get it. Don't worry, Skairn. No judgment here.
I was getting a fair amount of judgment from the knifey over there.
I'm going to die surrounded by the biggest idiots in a ream. Okay, I'm going to quickly assess Barrack's wounds, and if there's anything particularly life-threatening, I'm going to
Yeah, I'm going to help him get a medicine check
patch
on
him
him.
up.
Okay.
Seeing it.
We don't want him dying on us
that.
just yet.
He's basically fine. It's just more that he got...
Okay.
It would be like being flashbanged
Bludgeoned.
Okay.
So,
and also then bludgeoned,
It's a
yeah.
concussion grenade.
so I'm going to get one of the barrels
Yeah.
and I'm going to hold it to Charlie.
Oh, as soon as you pick up the barrel, Charlie's like, looks at the barrel like, where's it going?
He holds it to Charlie. Charlie, no. I was like, would you mind?
Oh,
Punch it out.
oh.
Then he takes it and pours it over the guy's face.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it was the good stuff.
If you shut up, I'll take the lemon out.
And if you scream for help, I pull the dagger out that I had before. This should going in you.
We're quite knifey here.
All right. Now, Barrack, dear. Are you going to be quiet, or are we going to stab you? It's entirely up to you. Grunt once if you're going to be quiet. All right.
Cool. Well, I've still got the knife
Did
to
he
him.
grunt
Yeah.
once or did he grunt on the girls?
So I remove the gag and tug the lemon out and
Yeah.
toss it over my shoulder. Long time no see.
Quite. Lady Rhylind, I didn't expect to see you here. Excellent. Do we have an extraction route?
Sorry, what?
Do we have a way out?
How hard did you hit your head just then?
Wait, there was a little... You!
No shouting. I got the knife.
Let's start with how you got here.
I led a cavalry charge.
Okay.
How did that
And-
go for you?
Not well.
I thought that much would have been obvious.
Oh.
I'm quite surprised to see you here, Rhylind, but why have you bound me? Why am I tied up?
Well, for starters, this is a war zone. For seconds, I'm not sure if I trust you.
What?
I see you've been promoted.
Yes, but that was... And he sort of has this moment of, like, dawning realization. You think, no, Lady Rhylind, no. That was Lorel. Lorel was the one who made your indiscretions.
Rhylind just kind of rubs one
Skairn is
temple.
standing in the corner with his dragon on his shoulder, twirling his mustache.
Hey, Rhylind. Where's Laurel?
Lorel was another lieutenant. But didn't think she had that sort of thing in her.
What
What sort of thing did she have?
I mean, I obviously can't prove this to you in my present state, but...
Yes, you can't.
And he actually sort of just looks at you and goes, Rhylind, I would never betray you.
Can I do a...
Sense motive? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, insight. I am going to say that only Rhylind is
knows him
able
well
to...
enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
15.
No, he's on the level.
He's on the level.
Yeah.
Shit.
The impression you get is like he's just been battered left ways and right ways and doesn't know what way is up. And you've asked him a question and he's just blurted the first thing that came to mind. And he's just going, no, it was Laurel. Like, you know, if he was trying to be devious, he was really shit. You know what I mean? Like,
You were never particularly good at lying.
no, I carry myself as a true gentleman would.
Rightly so.
Who's this?
That's a
Ever heard of Charlie Roughhouse?
Charlie Roughhouse.
Yeah.
The one and the same.
He's more rough than house at the moment.
You can see the feet.
Oh,
Like,
there's so much house involved. He's as rough as a whole house.
I didn't realize he was a drinker. I can
He's
smell
not.
him. Oh, I
That's
see.
why, yeah. So what were you doing nefariously prowling around the Bashano streets?
Try not to get killed, I imagine.
Well, yes, I mean... I'm-
Yes, I mean, let him answer.
Oh, she's right. Why am I answering to her? She's clearly Bashano.
I'll make you knifey.
She doesn't know what that means.
Okay, the next
Are
time
you
we're...
trying to get us killed?
Okay.
No, we're trying to get you not killed.
Because trust me, the thought crossed my mind. Okay.
So he actually looks really hurt at that. The fact that you were considering killing him really, really hurt him.
Oh, God, now I feel bad.
Yeah,
Right.
you've been a bitch.
Okay, all of you can shut up for 5 minutes. Charlie, I swear to God, I will come over there.
There is a door between the back and the front, right?
Yeah.
I'm actually going to go in there and close the door.
Sure.
Because I have some questions for Charlie.
Sure. Dupree
Oh,
is
you're going to
busy-
close it while with you on my
you
side
and
of the door?
me.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm just holding the knife now.
Okay, keep holding the knife.
She's holding.
No offense, Barrack. Abella.
I'm not holding a knife. I just like the word. All right?
Okay.
It just amuses me.
Okay.
I'm sorry for threatening to stab you a lot.
Don't worry, I threatened to stab him too.
He gives you a filthy look.
Okay. Why would Norel betray me?
You would have to ask her.
So you know it was her, but you don't know why she did it.
Well, yes.
I would credit you with more information than that, Barrack.
Well, it was somewhat chaotic after your quick retreat.
That's the word we're using for it. Lovely.
Well, I was trying to be delicate.
You were just magically shuffled off and promoted to the side. Didn't know anything at all? No inkling of what was going
You
on?
don't know what I went through to... In the wake of your indiscretion, our unit was broken up into 3 separate divisions and then sent and attached to new armies. I lost soldiers that I have served with for years. And he just sort of is... He seems to be very emotional about the whole thing. But yeah, he just kind of falls a bit quiet.
Yes, Barrack, I imagine it was very hard for you. Definitely was a long and agonizing period of your life. I'm amazed you're still, so stoic about it. Last time I checked, you weren't the one hiding out in exile on the Bashno side of a ream trying not to get killed.
Rhylind, I'm going to say this once, but only because I respect you. Mm-hmm. You don't know shit.
Can I punch him?
Yeah, absolutely.
I punch him.
Yeah, sure.
Not as hard as I could, but hard enough that he's going to feel it. In the chest.
Granted, I probably deserve that, but you left.
Oh, I didn't fancy being in jail. Would you have done any different?
Well, for some, honor is more important than life. You left us. We never left you.
The trouble is, Barrick, I have a really hard time believing it was just one person.
Believe what you want. I'm done. Tired of this whole affair. I've lost my entire squadron.
Where do you want to go, Barrick?
There's a water fight here. And I'm sure if you came with me, they would see that you're worth reinstating. Come with me, Rhylind. Let's fight this together.
I'm sure the people who think I'm a depraved, deceitful, treacherous, untrustworthy half-breed will be really happy to see me again.
And he just sort of shakes his head, looks at the Sagas. You really think so little of the loyalty of your troops? There are still some here.
I think the world of my troops. I think less than the dirt on this floor of the men above them.
He starts sort of tearing up a bit. And he's very clearly trying not to because he's staring you down.
While they're having this conversation, I have a couple of questions for Charlie.
Sure.
I just want to know, Charlie may not be very good at giving this information, but it's like, where did you find DuPont?
Who are you talking about?
The half-breed who helps us.
Isn't that you?
Nice. The other half-breed who helps you. It's a half-breed who doesn't.
the gentleman man.
Yeah.
Yes,
The
all
one
that.
who was giving you booze. Where did you find him?
On the street.
Where was he?
On the street.
Where was he coming from?
A door.
Which door?
One of them.
Where was it?
On the street.
What was he doing?
I don't know. I was walking with George in my arms.
On Duchess?
She was by my feet, I think.
Where's Duchess?
She's by my feet, I think.
Yeah. She's actually sleeping in the corner.
And he was there, and he gave me alcohol.
Okay. You're no good.
I'm very
He doesn't
good.
say that.
I have a question for you, Skairn. Why don't you like the half-breed?
I don't trust him at all. Where did you put my gold bar? You were carrying one of them.
It'll be in his bag. But he's like, what's a gold bar?
Never mind. Can I go through the bag?
Sure.
I go and get my gold bar out of Charlie's bag.
Sure.
I'm done.
No,
Sorry.
that's fine.
Carry on.
Anyone else want to do like, any little asides? Do we want to have like a little Nezor Abella powwow in the corner?
They're the thugs. They're like, yeah.
Yes,
Well, she
we are the thugs.
she punches a tied-up man and makes him cry.
Abella life.
I've had a rough year, guys. I'm working out some frustrations over here.
Bella's sitting here, and she was having fun at the start of this conversation, but now she's feeling real uncomfortable.
I was just like looking at Bella like, yeah, let's just let her deal with this. This is our fight.
After my conversation with Charlie, I'm going to come back in
I'm pointedly-
and close the door again.
Yeah, I'm pointedly not making eye contact with anybody.
As soon as he closes that door, Charlie's gonna like belly crawl out the back door into the garden.
Okay. As you do, you see a familiar face. It's the kobold. Yeah. And he sits there and looks at you and goes, "Ah!"
And Charlie goes, and then throws up on the kobold.
So Skairn obviously hears this. It's like,
What the hell was that?
Don't worry, I'll look.
Also, I will investigate. I'm like rushed to get out of this room.
Charlie, while you're looking at this and while everyone else is running in, 12 more kobolds run up and they've all got different weapons.
To see me like demonic vomiting on their friend.
on Null.
Yeah. No, there are now 13 kobolds in...
One of them very wet.
What do you do?
After that?
Yeah,
Is
what do
that
you
not
do?
enough?
What do you do? I'm asking,
okay,
because it's this weird moment where...
I hurl up on Noel and then go, "Noel, my lad, how have you been? Ah!"
Anyone else want to do anything before I make my...
We're rushing out. I don't know if we can get... have we
Past?
gotten there
Yeah,
yet? Have we gotten there yet?
Yeah, I'd say you've all kind of run out. Is anyone else going?
It's just me and Abella, I think.
I'm just like, Nezor, make sure this chat doesn't move, all right?
Sounds good.
And then I go out the back as well to investigate.
Sure. Okay.
Is Charlie on his feet?
I'm on my, like, sort of, because I was belly crawling out, like, and then he's come across and so I'm sort of like couched on my side, just laughing.
I'm going to try to help the situation. I look at the kobolds and I say, felicitations!
Okay.
Hi. What do you want, Null and friends?
Other than a towel.
There's some chittering amongst the kobolds. Niall is wiping crap off himself.
Noel's gonna be smashed. That's like pure brandy. I
He
just
didn't
threw
like
up.
force his mouth open and go "Bleh," like a mother bird.
He's in like a sick bag.
Swells up.
They all sort of look at each other in agreement and level their weapons at you.
Oh, that's not very nice.
Roll initiative.
Oh, fantastic.
Cool.
I don't want to kill... No, I just want to keep messing with them.
For the sake of this, I'm going to say you're on 3 levels of exhaustion. So you're going to have a disadvantage on ability checks, your speed is halved, and your disadvantage on attack rolls and saving rolls.
Sure, that's fine.
I rolled a 18, motherfuckers.
Okay.
Which box? Oh, +2. I rolled 20 then.
I got 19 plus 3, 22.
My is a 6.
So just so I'm aware who the combatants are, it's everyone except Nezor, right?
Yeah.
I'm chilling.
I just rolled a 20 with +5, so 25.
Nice.
Which isn't super helpful considering I'm not really a fighter, but there you go.
Against kobolds, you'll be all right. Well, that's about right. Everybody goes before Charlie.
Alrighty then. Abella, your turn.
All right, so it's definitely a battle. Like, there's no talking back now.
No, they've all sort of made a decision and they've just leveled their weapons at you,
Alright.
which are like there's about 5 or 6 spears. Someone has a rifle that they've clearly pilfered off a body.
I reckon I'm going to go for him first then. Draw
Sure.
my bow, aim at kobold.
Rifle boy, yeah.
Rifle, yeah, and shoot for gold.
Roll me some dice.
8. Good. Yeah,
Okay, that hits.
great. And then it is
1.
1. Guys, you are welcome.
Thank you, Abella.
So I'm imagining you run out, see this, pull your bow, do like a leap through the air.
Yeah, I
as
try
you
to do
jump
like a
over
sick
Charlie.
action shot.
And it hits this kobold in the foot. He's like,
To be at this point, to be honest, I was probably laughing too hard. I'm the one coming in from it.
it is Frosh's turn.
So I would... Firstly, I'm going to get him to cough flame on Gnarl.
Oh, okay. All right.
So he's going to do that.
Sure.
And
I'll be fair and I'll roll a d20 to see how well that goes, because it is also mixed with stomach acid.
And alcohol.
there's a lot.
It's like
God, a lot
at
of stomach
least
acid.
4 barrels, like small batch barrels of brandy.
Yeah.
Small batch barrels.
We'll see.
I like how he's.
Like I said, I'll leave it to the dice.
And then Skairn is going to harpoon one of the others.
All right. We're going to call what you're doing with Frosh a special action.
It's 22.
Okay, no worries. So roll damage. Also, I critted on the dice, so yes, he does ignite. So I'm going to say do double damage, but yeah.
Try. I'm going to help him get put out.
He's had a terrible few days.
By doing what? Vomiting on him?
Roll a d4 for his damage.
Well, now you mention it, that would probably work.
I'm rolling for damage, plus he's also igniting.
Yeah.
Been drinking a lot. You need to take a leak.
So it's 3 damage.
3 damage? Okay. All right. And he's now on fire and also takes an additional 1 damage. Gnarl becomes this plume of fire and starts screaming. Throw your harpoon at the next one.
Aw. That's only a 10.
Okay, the harpoon clatters against the flagstone beneath one of the feet. You're not having the greatest of luck with harpoons, are you?
And they have a heart attack.
Sometimes I think you weren't actually a pirate.
I wasn't. I was a whaler.
Yeah, he's used to throwing
That's
it.
even worse.
I'm literally used to throwing these at a barn door.
Like something about as big as a ship.
Rhylind, your turn.
Okay, I'm going to take my axe and I'm going to use the flat of it like an enormous bat to hit as many kobolds as possible.
Okay.
I'm going to leap over Charlie and do a big wide arc of a swing.
Go for it.
Come on, nat 20. 14 plus 5.
Yeah, no, that hits. Roll damage.
8 plus strength, so plus 3, so 11.
Okay, so you not only send this guy flying, you cave his skull in as you do so. So this kobold just goes arse over tit over the group, lands, and dies.
Anyone else want to dance? I've got some internal rage to work out.
Sure. Okay. Kobold with the rifle and the arrow in his foot levels the rifle at Abella and misses by a country mile. It strikes the wall nearby, ricochets.
Almost as much as I missed him.
Yeah. Oh, no, like more.
Oh, wow.
He also goes flying back about 10 foot from the recoil. This thing's like 3 times the size of him, so. Okay. The other kobolds start clustering around Rhylind and start trying to shank her. What's your AC?
18.
1 hits and does 7 damage.
Oh, you little bastard!
Yeah. A really filthy looking Bashano sword that he's clearly pilfered from somewhere. Just skips underneath the armor and cuts you. Charlie,
Right. So, I'm going to do...
while you're thinking about that, just be
I know
aware
what-
Gnarl is...
Yes, I know. So,
He's like
I
the
look at
man...
the fire. I look at the group of kobolds around Rhylind. I go, Rhylind, watch out! Throw one of the kegs of brandy at Rhylind, like at that group, like at a shield or something.
Sure.
To try. Basically, I want to throw it at them to break the keg.
Alright, cool. Do a dex check. Roll to disadvantage.
That's so 10.
Yeah, that hits. I'm going to say it smashes across her back plate. Rhylind, take a single point of damage.
Ow!
I go, sorry about this, and I shove Gnarl at them.
Yeah, you push Gnarl, flaming Gnarl, who's screaming like the guy who got the cooking oil tipped over him in the Watchmen movie. I don't know if you've ever seen that. Into one of his mates, and his mate ignites, and a few of the other friends start igniting, and they all start to burn. And now I'm going to roll a dice to find out whether or not Rhylind is set on fire. Rhylind, you are lucky.
Yay!
Very lucky, because it was a 10 and below hits you. All right, so
Bella's gonna take another shot. Can I still reach the rifle boy?
yeah, you can reach Rifle Boy.
Cool. Yeah,
He's
I'm gonna,
not in the group anymore. He's on his back, but
Yeah, but now it's personal.
Is he prone?
yeah, he's prone.
Cool. I'm gonna try to shoot him with my bow again.
Go ahead. I'm gonna give you advantage on that one. Not that you need it, but
16. Was it plus?
Got him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that hits.
Cool.
Yeah, that'll do it. You hit him square in the chest, and he just sort of goes, and
Is
dies.
he dead? Oh, good. Ha! Get.
Yeah.
Nice.
You're welcome, guys.
I set like 4 of them on fire.
Yeah.
I set one of them on fire.
Isn't about you.
So there were 13. One's dead. Sorry, 2 are dead, which leaves you with 6 more kobolds to deal with. Skairn, your turn.
Skairn's gonna fuck up and get out Clarence's warhammer.
The Clarence Hammer. Yeah.
Yeah. And go for a sweeping blow towards the one nearest to the flames that's not on fire to see it and sort of hit him into the fire.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah. That's a 14 plus 4, 18. Does it handily, I expect.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll damage.
And then this is double-handed. Aw.
How much is it?
1 plus my strength, so 2, presumably. 3, presumably.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Looking
you
to-
cop him nicely in the jaw, and he stumbles back into his mate, and then he catches on fire and takes wrong dice. And he takes 6 damage. He ignites and just sort of. It's like watching, it's like when you've gassed the place, and then there's like all these dead roaches that have kind of curled up into themselves. Yeah, he does that.
And then I point at the one furthest away. No, I point at the next one along.
Yeah.
And say, Crush!
Yep.
And Crush swoops from my shoulder, flies in an arc around towards the guy's face.
Yeah.
Again, with the intention of knocking
Igniting
him
him?
backwards and igniting him. He'll go for a sting attack.
Sure.
But yeah. That's only a 10.
10?
Yeah.
Nah, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So the kobold basically starts batting him away.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Now,
So Crush would sort of scrabble for him for a little bit, then sort of back off and fly back to my shoulder.
Rhylind, your turn.
Is the one that stabbed me on fire?
Yes.
Well, I decide to leave well enough alone and try and swing at one of the ones that is not on fire.
Sure, go for it. 6 to choose from.
15.
Well,
No,
5 to choose from.
Plus 5, so 20.
Yeah, that hits. Roll me damage.
8 plus 3 for strength, so 9, 10, 11. 11 again.
Okay. Yeah, no, another one goes flying back.
Severed about the midships.
Yeah, pretty much. He's pretty much protected. So he's dead. Cool, great.
I'm really working out some issues.
Sure. Okay.
I feel like we should almost leave her to deal with the rest of it.
All right, so Kobold's turn. One of the kobolds at the back runs back and grabs the rifle and
Sake.
aims it at Rhylind and pulls the trigger, and it goes click.
Because he hasn't reloaded it.
Yeah. And he looks at it like, but it's a thing that goes bang. Why is it not working? The others that are basically surrounded that aren't burning, which actually I'll do damage for them, they all die.
So there's 4 left.
Yeah, there are 4 left.
Is there still a fire?
Yes.
Oh, that's
but it's
unfortunate. That
mostly-
meets...
Because I've still got a couple of.
The remaining 4 that are basically right in front of Rhylind all try to shank her. Does a 19 beat your armor class?
Just.
How does a 12? No.
No.
And 18?
Equals beats.
All right.
2 of them stabbed me.
And you take 12 points of damage as these guys with spears try to stab you. And they get a few nice little nicks and blows here.
I'm going to try and reduce the damage
Sure.
using a superiority die.
Go for
If
it.
someone attacks me in a melee attack and hits, I can roll a superiority die
Great,
to reduce
do
the
it.
damage done to me. Oh, thank God! 3. So they only hurt me 9 points.
Yep. You okay?
Yes.
So now it's Charlie's turn.
So Charlie's been cackling the whole time.
Nice.
And he gets 2. He's got his last 2 casks, and he sort of cracks them against each other like coconuts, and then makes 2 throws and just throws them at the other kobolds. But because they're cracked, so they're sort of like spin
Yeah.
and alcohol. And
Sure. I'm going to get you to roll me 2 dexterities at disadvantage.
At disadvantage, yeah. 10 for the first throw,
Yep.
and then for the second one,
Oh, dude.
it's going to be a 9.
Okay. Both hit Rhylind in the back.
Ow!
And
And you take 3 damage.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Not really helping this.
then I'm going to fall prone.
All right, back to the top, Abella.
Would someone kill the rest of these little bastards?
Yeah, how many are there left?
4. The rest of them are all crispy barbecue chicken,
Yeah,
basically.
On the
If the
bright
fly.
side, it smells delicious in here.
Yeah, it smells so good.
I'm gonna
Upsettingly
see
so.
if I can skewer one of them. Oh, really?
Sorry, no.
But I just rolled an 8.
Sorry.
Fucking
Well, have you got anything that you could add to that? No? Okay.
no.
I
Trying
gave you
not
all
to laugh.
inspiration.
Okay, I'm getting shanked here.
Anyway, moving on. Scan.
So, yeah, Crush is going to continue going for the same guy again.
Sure.
That's a 14.
Yeah, that hits.
So he's going to sting him.
Okay. I have to do a con check, though, right?
Yeah, 13.
All right, just let me do my con check. Well, he rolled an 8. So he's now unconscious.
So he collapses.
Yeah.
Nice.
Night.
Does he fall towards the fire?
He just hits the ground.
Okay. And then Skairn is going to go one more time with the Warhammer.
All right, go for it.
Oh, no, not very good.
No? Okay.
That would be a 6.
Okay, so you move up, swing your hammer, and it misses. And
I was probably swinging at the one Rosh was going for, and he dropped. Just woof. I'm like,
oh, down I go.
And I say, good boy, Rosh.
And he chirps at you and jumps back.
And then I gesture and he sort of flits back to the shoulder.
Sure. Okay, now it's Rhylin's turn.
Okay, so there's 2 left, right?
2 left in front of
Okay.
you, 1 holding a rifle in the back who's trying to work out how it works.
He's not a great threat right now, is he? Right, can I try and swing my axe like a bat and try and hit one of the kobolds and send it into the other kobold?
Look, you'd either need to do a push action or have an ability that would allow you to do that, but because I like the idea of Rhylind coming in and effectively golf swinging a kobold backwards into another kobold, in this one instance, I'm going to allow it if you hit.
Okay, cool. All right, so that's what I'm going to try and do.
You can grab it by its feet and use it as a club
Fucking
to hit
8.
the other one.
+5.
13.
That hits.
Equal speed.
Hey!
Roll me some damage.
Hit a motherfucker with another motherfucker.
8.
Nice.
Plus.
+3, so 11 again.
Again, you crush him and he dies.
But you crushed him and sent his body into his mate.
Good, because I don't want him shanking me.
Right. Cool. Kobold's turn. The prone kobold tips the other kobold off, stands up, and incurs an attack of opt from you, Rhylind, so you can attack him if you would like.
Yeah! Can't see it.
3.
Motherfucker.
13. It's a 13.
3 + 5 is 8, so...
Yeah, you swing and he ducks, and then he goes to shank you. All right, well, he rolls a 1, so don't even worry about it. He sort of ducks and then stabs and goes wide, and Rifle Boy realizes that a thing has to happen with it to make it work, so he throws that down and then picks up Skairn's harpoon. He is going to hold his action because he is not sure if he should run or if he should fight. Okay, Charlie's turn.
So Charlie's prone, and he'll sort of like again lounge to his side to see what's going on, and then grab one of the kegs, sort of look at Rhylind, and then realize it's a bad idea and punches a hole in it and sort of has a drink.
All right, cool.
That's the best idea you've had today.
I don't think so.
I'm a little busy. Abella,
Is the one that got up still up?
harpoon boy or
Harpoon boy, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Fuck
Fuck
the one
that.
that's trying to stab me.
No, you can do that.
Okay, so you're attacking the one who's engaged in combat with Rhylind. Roll your attack.
Oh, 16.
Yeah, you hit.
Roll an 8.
6.
The kobold takes the arrow shaft to the throat and just and dies.
Hey, Rhylind. You're welcome.
Thank you, Abella.
Yeah.
Now, could someone help bandage the puncture wounds?
Well, Skairn, did you want to take care of the last guy?
Yeah, he's got my harpoon.
Yeah.
So I run up to him with another harpoon.
Well, as you do, he's going to use his hold action to try to and no, with these dice. Oh my god. Go on.
And I insert it in him.
We hope. Roll the dice.
Could you have used a different phrasing?
Well, that's a 9 plus. It's 5. Yeah.
You insert it into the kobold. Roll me
His
damage.
mouth.
Oh, God.
That's at 4.
Skairn, you run in, bring the harpoon high, and slam it down this thing's throat as it looks up, and it immediately dies. As you retract the harpoon from its throat, you look down the street and you see probably somewhere in the vicinity of 40 to 50 other kobolds looking at you from the other end of the street. Some of them have rifles, some of them have swords.
I also pick up the rifle that he was trying to load as well and
Sure.
sling that over my shoulder.
Right.
And drag it back. Fun story. There is 40 or 50 more kobolds in the street. So
All those in favour of dragging Charlie inside and locking the door.
Before any of this happens, I'm going to go back to the inside. And I'm alive. And we're just going to cover what happened in the, 30-odd seconds of combat that happened between Dupree, Nezor, and Barrick.
The sound effects
I'm
would have
gonna
been
call him
like,
Barry.
stab, stab, whoosh, whoosh, cackling, more stabbing.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of little tiny voices screaming.
Just
and dying.
occasionally, ow! Ow!
No. So Dupree leans against the door and starts cleaning the wound with the thin bottle of rum that he was using earlier to pour everyone shots.
So, Dupree, just while the others are gone, where do we go from here?
I don't know what you mean.
Well, you're Earhart. You know the prince.
Sure.
I'm assuming you're gonna go there. And we can't stop you with that unless, for whatever reason, you don't trust him. We'll leave that at that because we have our friend here. But if he's coming with us, do you have any suggestions?
My suggestion to you would be to cut him loose because he's dead weight. I would also probably get something done about Gorgeous George, Toot Sweet, and then I'd make my way out of the city and get gone. Because given that we've just seen troop movements, it can only mean that they've brought in reinforcements. And frankly, this has spiraled out of control far quicker than I thought it would. As for me, and he leans forward, I've got some business to attend to, so if you're interested in pursuing this madness further with me, I will be in the city of Key in about 6 weeks. Meet me there. I'll find you. Best of luck to you all. And he steps out.
Can I burst back into the room covered in blood?
Yeah, sure.
I'm angry. There's steam rising from my nostrils, and there's blood running down me because I've been stabbed. Mist is rising from my nostrils. Is there a wooden table that I could hit with my axe?
Yes, it's currently got George on it. So
okay, is there a chair or something?
No, but there's a countertop.
Okay, I'm just gonna wham my axe into the countertop so it actually sticks in there a bit and stays there. Right. Then I go over and I kind of just pull up a chair next to Barrack, sit down, and I kind of cross one leg across.
Abella and I are presumably dragging Charlie in, one leg each, through the back door. Then before we close and barricade the door, I go out and grab a leg of kobold.
Scared.
What? They're good eating.
Disgusting. I hope you feel bad about yourself later.
I will not. I have a baby dragon who hasn't been fed in ages. You heartless, knifey person.
I don't think I've ever felt like throwing up this much not on a boat before.
While you're all making these noises, the kobolds are getting closer.
Skairn and Abella will be dragging... Well, Skairn anyway, I don't know about Abella, you can speak for yourself, but I'm going to drag him into this room because we don't want him in the room with the booze.
Yeah, I'm helping, but I'm complaining very vocally. Lots of oh, for fuck's sake, Charlie. Fucking can't hold your liquor. At least I fucking stopped.
And as we drag him in, close the door, is there any windows or anything that we could have seen out the back before we came in, if the kobolds were coming into the garden or anything?
The only window was on the door, which was that small grated sort of thing. It was basically a security door to see who was there.
Could I just look through it?
Yeah, you can. The kobolds are all sort of sniffing around. They actually look really motivated and organized, and they're basically looting. They start smashing in windows across the street from you, and they drag a mannequin out and start ripping all the clothes off it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Skairn is... We drag Charlie in. Skairn slams the door shut, bolts it, and then takes the leg off his shoulder and sort of rips off a hunk of it and hands it to Krosh, and then takes a bite himself and tastes it.
You can taste the sewer.
I go, welcome to it.
That's the other thing. It is a sewer-fed.
I know.
Kobold as opposed to
I was curious.
Yeah.
The ones I have in the north, clean, beautiful. Farm raised, corn-fed, beautiful.
They live in the fields.
While they're doing that, I'm going to talk to Rhylind for a second. Basically, Dupree's gone. He said he's got business to get to. I'm kind of cool with him doing that for now. He said he's going to be in Key in 6 weeks if we need to meet up with him. Reckon it's not a bad idea, but of course we'll see how the rest of the day plays out.
Mm-hmm. I take this in, and then I turn to Barrack. Barrack, I just got stabbed 3 times, and we're possibly about to be overrun with kobolds. So don't fuck with me. Soldiers talk to each other. Lieutenants talk to each other. Everyone gets together and has a good complain about how things are run, because no one's ever happy with how things are run, no matter how hard you try. So you're going to very quickly and succinctly tell me everything that was ever said about me out of my presence that might be relevant, just in case I bleed out, this place gets overrun, or I get pissed off and I just decide to kill the next person who irritates me.
I assume you're trying to do an
I was
intimidation.
about to say, this is an intimidation.
Give me an
Yes.
intimidation check. Do it with advantage, please.
Oh, I just rolled a 5, so thank God.
20!
Yeah, no, he's visibly perturbed by what you're saying. Yes.
That was cool.
Thank you.
I don't know what you want to know. I've already told you everything I do know. What more can I say? That your command staff soon after started to turn on you? That the loyalists were weeded out pretty damn quickly?
Can I check whether I believe
Yeah,
him?
absolutely.
Can I roll with advantage, please?
I'll give you that.
Seeing as she
He's-
just rolled a 20 on an intimidation.
Yeah.
Basically, he's told you everything he knows. The people who were loyal were pretty much they worked out pretty quickly who they were and separated them from the rest, and then put them into different detachments, and they just basically completely decimated your unit. Not in the traditional term where they actually killed them, but like just broke them up.
Okay. I pull out my knife. Hopefully Barrett looks appropriately.
Yeah, he's a little bit freaked.
And I cut his bonds.
Oh, you've made up.
It would appear this is a loyal soldier.
Well, that's good because there's 4. They may come in here. Not sure that they will, but there's about 50 little koboldy things. And our biggest fighter, arguably, is unconscious.
I think Barrick's incredibly ambivalent about his feelings towards you now. I think he had this mental image of you, and the reality of meeting you after the event has completely changed his opinion. It would be like meeting someone you haven't seen for a couple of years and they've completely changed. So the mental image does not match up with the actual image.
But what did he expect?
So Skairn's going to say to Rhylind, how'd you go? Any closure?
Still want to punch something?
But not him.
No, that would be unfair. Already copped him once. Twice would be excessive.
Well, if we make our way to the heart side of Orim, we could certainly put a few in the Bashano. What do you say?
I'd have to shank you. I'm not joking this time.
Mate, so your lady has fallen in with some, I don't know. She's not serving the Earhart anymore. I suppose, I would hope, from at least what you know of what's happened to her, that you can at least understand her somewhat ambivalence toward the people she used to work for. We'll happily help you get out of here, but we ain't going back to the fighting. We're trying to stop, we tried to stop the fighting, but no one was listening to us, so...
Yeah, we did enough running around. We went to both leaders of the military. No one was willing to listen.
We spoke to the captain on the Bashano side. We spoke to the admiral on the Earhart side. No one was wanting to stop. This, I know you're a soldier, and no one knows better than the soldier how bad war can be. We tried to stop a war. We didn't manage it,
So we're out.
so we're out. Because you know how bad a war can be.
I'm just patching myself up in the background, by the way, just kind of cleaning myself up a bit.
Well, I mean, how do I get back? I can't.
Like I said, you're welcome to come with us. You can find another way across the river further up, and if you're with us, you'll probably get out of here all right. You might want to ditch the armor.
He actually seems really reluctant to do that.
I
but-
can understand your reluctance, but if you want to live, that's the way I'd go.
Like, I don't even live here. And, like, the shanking situation, yeah. I feel like anyone who sees you that does live here is not going to restrict those impulses.
He actually sort of like, he loosens his collar a little bit and then goes, with respect, Lady Rhylind, I won't run. If I must, I will surrender, but I'm here to fight.
All right, then I've got another plan for you. The sewers. We can tell you the exact sewer that leads right back to the river. Can you swim?
Well, yes, I'll have to lose the armor, but...
That would be how I'd do it then.
He stares at you a little bit strangely, Skairn. This northern wastes pirate vagabond barbarian-style person with a dragon on his shoulder and kind of just takes a beat and goes, "War truly is hell, isn't it?" All right, tell me where I need to go.
So we're going to point him in the right direction and we're going to leave?
How do we get Charlie out of here?
Carry him. Like, we've got no other option. There are no horses nearby from what Matt has told us. There are soldiers. I reckon you and...
We can hoist him between the two of us, yeah.
What about George?
How did you stir the other person that was unconscious? Barrack was knocked unconscious and you just splashed him in the face.
I don't want to put more alcohol on you.
You don't have to. I'm sure there's water.
It's worth a shot.
Yeah, all right. We can try waking him up. I almost want him asleep.
No, it's fucking heavy. Wake him up.
When we've got to carry him and George.
Okay, good point. So I'll go and get another barrel and get my warhammer out. So a gentle love tap, break the thing, splash it on his face. It's a real waste. He wasn't really tasting the last 2 or 3 barrels anyway.
You probably drunk like a gold bar's worth of expensive alcohol.
I threw up a majority of it as well.
So many hipsters' lives has gone to waste.
I wake up going, nom, 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 nom.
Charlie.
Yes. Oh, hey, what?
We're leaving. We need someone to carry George.
I think at this point, Duchess is barking at the back door.
Yeah. Let's get Duchess away from there.
Duchess, come here. Come on. Good girl.
So we go out the front door. We need someone to carry George.
Question: has what's his face left yet, Barrack?
No, he's at the doorway, sort of like, so I'm gonna go and yeah.
Bye. It was nice to meet you.
I knew it was coming and it's still bad.
Well, there's the episode title.
Cool. I just look at him and I'm just like, I'm sorry, Barrack. I really am.
It was good to see you again, Rhylind.
I chose to survive. I hope you can understand that.
I think I can.
He drops his breastplate that is unfastened and tucks it next to the doorway. Gives you one last look and then disappears out onto the street.
It's officer's plate, like.
I'll spit on it.
Is there an Urhart emblem on it?
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, it's a breastplate. But...
I'll take it. No, Charlie would like...
You don't have your vomit.
It's one of those things where it's
Promenade
like,
anymore.
you might regret leaving it behind. Like, it might be something...
So what you're taking it for? Because he's just left it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, like, Charlie will be... Because Charlie's sort of washing, getting water and...
I give him my water flask.
Yep, okay. The back door sounds like it's being hammered on. So,
Yeah, let's grab
go.
George. Get out of here.
Yeah, so he'll wrap George up again in the sheet and sort of have everything on and start sort of shaking it out. But
Are we heading towards the gate?
As in out into.
back down towards where the refugees were leaving.
Let's go.
About 20 minutes later, you're walking through the throng of the people at the gate. You start hearing more and more cannon fire, and this time you start to hear cannon fire coming from the coast. And the top of the redoubt just starts peppering itself to bits. There's a direct hit on the trebuchet, and it snaps.
And with an ear-shattering groan, it falls.
Yep, I think we made a good call. Leaving when we did. We did what we could.
Yeah, I don't feel bad about trying.
No, I think I would have felt bad for not trying.
Yeah. You make your way through the refugees. People sort of tried to give you a little bit more of a bite of birth now that they noticed that you've got a corpse. There's an old lady who sort of gets out the way and gives you her space on the back of a cart.
Absolutely not. Like, and sort of lift her back, like help her back up.
The old woman smiles at you and pats your elbow, and you all make the long, difficult and tiring journey out of the main gates of Areem. Overhead, the storm finally breaks, and rain douses the fires of Areem.
Thank you for listening to this episode of There Be Dragons. If you'd like to know more about the show, feel free to check us out at therebedragonscast.com for lore, cast information, and updates on our schedule. You can also find us at therebedragons.podbean.com and on Spotify for your listening needs. If Twitter is more your thing, you can also find us at TBDragonscast. I am Matthew, your Dungeon Master, and Skairn Fellspar Thuferson is played by Joshua Walker. Rhylind Westfall is played by Keren Schlink. Charlie Roughhouse was played by Tristan Doust, Abella DeRosier is played by Angela Donlan, and finally, Nezor Valghoorlis is played by Tom Moore, who also acts as our sound recordist. There Be Dragons' original theme and scores are composed by award-winning composer Sean Tinian. You can see more of his work at seantinianmusic.com. Thanks for listening, everyone. See you next time.